President Trump and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi finding common ground on a new NAFTA deal known as the U.S.-Mexico-Canada trade agreement. This hands the president a big win on his legislative agenda. Joining us now to talk more about the deal, Senator Rob Portman of Ohio, and he's also a former U.S. trade rep. So we had Senator Toomey on. He's got some issues. You don't want to sacrifice the good in pursuit of the perfect, I guess, Senator.
Yeah, well, look, this is a trade opening agreement, so it's good for us. It's good for Ohio jobs. Farmers love it. Manufacturers love it. It's going to be good for auto workers in the United States. There's a lot of positive things about it, and it builds on the North American Free Trade Agreement that are already there, but it improves it and it updates it. So this is a good thing for our country, and it's great for economic growth. I mean, the GDP growth, Joe, is actually greater, as estimated by the International Trade Commission, than the growth we would have gotten from TPP, the Trans-Pacific Partnership, which a lot of people said was the hallmark agreement. We had to get it done, particularly on the Democratic side. So this is about economic growth. It's about jobs. ITC also says 176,000 new jobs, more jobs in manufacturing. So it's a good deal for America.
Do you have any of the same concerns of Senator Toomey on any of the issues? Are there things that you'd change if you could, if you were king?
Well, if I were king, I wouldn't have negotiated quite the same agreement, particularly in terms of dispute settlement and some other issues that have to do with changes from the existing agreement. But look, this is better than the North American Free Trade Agreement in so many respects, and it's a great example of persistence and patience. This thing was negotiated over the last couple of years. It was signed off on over a year ago, and it took the House a whole year just to say yes. It should have been done a long time ago, because this could have started to provide benefits for the people of Ohio and around the country. But we're finally there, and that's great, and now we need to move forward on it quickly.
A weird convergence of events yesterday. Obviously, it was, within hours, an hour, I think, of the other big news of the day with the articles of impeachment. But the AFL-CIO, there was something going on for the last couple of days. Was the timing, in your view, suspect, or is that just the way that, Speaker Pelosi said, look, it gets done when it gets written up, and it's exactly the way it came in, and this is when I did it? Or was there, like everything else, was there a political tone to the timing?
I think both, Joe. Look, it is kind of more than a coincidence that this happens to happen on the same week that impeachment is announced. I think this is something that probably the Democrats in the House were looking to do, because they've been criticized, I think rightly, by people saying, you guys are being distracted by impeachment, not doing the work of the American people. And this was a good example of it, because this helps everybody, and it's good for our country. So I think they kind of wanted to pair the two. But also, as you know, at year end, Congress loves to put stuff off. So whether it's the appropriations bills that are hopefully coming together in the next few days here, whether it's USMCA, whether it's the defense authorization bill, which just came together yesterday, after 4 or 5 months of negotiations, things do tend to happen at the end of the year around here.
So we didn't ask Senator Toomey much about this, but I just want to ask you quickly, and we don't want to dwell on this, but it could impact the markets, obviously, and investors. But when they list the possible GOP senators that could, in some crazy scenario, vote yes on the impeachment at a trial, your name was actually in I think you were like in the third tier. You got your Romneys, and you got your Lamar Alexanders, and your Susan Collins, but then there's a next level. The media entity writing it was trying so hard to get to 17. They were doing backflips. They were trying, just hope springs eternal. They were, just appealing. But you were there. Is there any scenario, anything else that could happen that would get you to a yes in the Senate trial, Senator?
Well, Joe, I don't know why I was on the list. Probably because I'm saying I'm a juror in the Senate, and I'm going to listen. And I think everybody should listen, and we should allow both sides to present their cases. And I think that's going to happen now. That's good. There was talk about the Senate not really taking it up. In other words, having a motion to dismiss right away. I think that would be a mistake. But I've seen nothing thus far that rises to the level of impeachment. And I think that's really important, that we focus on the fact that we have an election right now before us. We've got presidential debates going on. We have voting in Ohio. Early voting is going to occur in about 2 months. We've got primaries coming up in New Hampshire and other states, California. So I mean, I think the American people are going to have a chance to go to the polls and express their views one way or the other. And those who would like to remove the president from office, they'll have their chance through the democratic process. I think that's a much better way to do this.